Hello guys, welcome to yet another episode of the Bold and Bubbly Podcast. It's your host Kanye,
Lynette, and Daniella.
Do you really understand what self-love is? Well, we are here to talk about what self-love is.
Yeah. Around the world, most people are not used to loving on themselves. They do not even know that you can actually love yourself and treat yourself better than you treat others. People choose to treat other people better than they treat themselves. And it's like it starts within you and yourself, So I do not know. I think we should understand what self-love is, what those misconceptions are, the importance of self-love. So I don't know if we can just dive right into it. But before that, for those who have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, to all our socials, please run, guys.
Imagine you're watching and you're not clicking the subscribe, the like, comment as well.
Yes, leave comments. Please tell us what you'd like to hear the next episode, and we're here for you. So Lynette and Kanye, I'm going to give my opinion first, and then you guys can back this. So I think self-love, my definition of self-love as Daniella is understanding, respecting, and appreciating yourself. Like most times we don't understand who we are, and because of that, we don't treat ourselves the way we deserve to be treated, which is like a very bad thing, because we choose to actually seek validation, choose to seek people's opinions. There's like people who are out there who, if someone does not tell them you've done it good, they cannot tell themselves that. And yet it starts with you. If you do not love yourself, there is no way on earth you're going to love another person and give them your utmost at all. There is no. I don't know if you guys have any other opinions that you think could back up this one, but mine is respecting, understanding, and appreciating yourself.
I guess that is the true definition on self-love. But again, some people imagine or like take it in a way that I will have self-love maybe in the future. But self-love is it's not about the destination. It's a process. It's a process. Self-love is a process. It's not a destination. Some people think that self-love is about it's being there. But no, it's about forgiving yourself. It's about literally putting yourself first before other people.
I think self-love is all about appreciating yourself, treating yourself with a lot of kindness. And to me, I think anything that brings you inner peace, anything that brings you joy, anything that brings you happiness is what self-love is.
Self-love encompasses self-care and even self-esteem. Last week, we actually talked about self-esteem. But what people need to understand is self-love. For you to be able to love yourself, you have to care for yourself. And you have to value yourself. You have to know your worth. Self-esteem, know your worth, know what you deserve as a person. In the long run, when you know all these things, you're actually going to end up loving yourself so much. You'll be able to set boundaries. I cannot do this. You avoid toxic friendships and relationships because of actually loving on yourself. I don't know if you know what the importance self-love really is. You guys can actually tell me. I don't.
Now, do you want to tell us more about that, Kanye?
I think self-love helps in checking one's mental health. One thing I know for sure is that if you have that love for yourself, it will be very easy for you to give off love to someone else. And with mental health, remember, you're trying to fight depression, you're trying to fight stress, you're trying to find all the anxiety, and all those come if you do not have self-love for yourself. So if you love yourself first, you're able to give off love, and you're able to outcome all those other challenges that come with our mental health.
You're generally able to make better decisions for yourself. As well, if you watched the last episode about self-esteem, self-love, you will have a low self-esteem, obviously, if you do not love yourself enough. If you do not have the self-loving, you're going to end up with a bad guy romantically. You're going to be a bad friend. Generally, by the way, if you don't love yourself, it's very hard to give off love. Hard to give off love. Like if I'm dating someone, if I am in trying to establish a good relationship with my friends, my siblings, anyone else. If I don't love myself, it's going to affect everyone else around me.
And you see one thing, people who don't love themselves, they do not know what they're worth. Let me tell you, a guy will come because he's giving you all these niceties, today he tells you he likes you, tomorrow he goes MIA. You don't even see that there's so much toxicity around this relationship that you're just there because after all, he says he loves me, yeah? But if you understand yourself and understand what you deserve as a person and love on yourself, there's so many ways you'll actually be able to prevent these kinds of things, yeah? Another thing I think is self-love helps us with achieving our overall well-being, yeah? You know, I said self-love equals self-care, or okay, self-care equals self-love, if I could say it that way. Now, how you care for yourself, you're going to be there, you're going to, one, ensure that you are healthy, you ensure you're doing things that are good for you, you're eating right, you're dressing right, you're doing all that. That is all self-care, yeah?
Yes.
Now, when you love on yourself, you don't just treat yourself for any other person.
No.
Yeah? You're not going to just wake up and, because I don't love myself, you're not going to shower today, you're not going to, like, you just literally just let life be. But no, people who love on themselves, they're actually very, very good with how they care for themselves. Like, me, I love myself.
They are intentional.
Like, you can see, you will see.
Be intentional. Loving yourself, because
Being
if you're not intentional, things are going to go south. Everything is going to be all over the place. And at some point in my life, I feel like anyone's life probably, when you don't have that self-love, everything is scattered. Like you are putting other people before you. Generally, everything is not about you. Everything has to be about you, sis.
Everything I know for sure is that personally, I love myself. You guys, let me tell you something. If I have 20,000 and I feel like KFC, I'm going to buy it and eat it. That is self-love. Prioritize yourself. Do not put people before you. Put yourself first, and then the others can come after you.
You know, you've talked about that, and I've remembered some people feel or think that loving yourself is buying yourself the Gucci, the Hermes, the taking yourself. That is self-love too.
Yeah.
But people forget to forgive themselves.
Yeah.
People forget to mind about their mental health.
Yeah.
Like these things, if outside you're going to the Bahamas, you're going to the, you're shopping, you have the nice things. Yeah. But when on the inside, you're thinking of the past things that you did and the goals maybe you didn't achieve, or maybe the mistakes you did and you didn't forget, you don't forgive yourself, that means there's no self-love. Regardless of the fact that you're buying yourself the most expensive car, sleeping in the nice apartment, that's not self-love.
Yeah, because you see, one thing people need to understand, they run away from all their problems, all because they're trying to run from self-love. And yet, it's just very small things. You're going to buy this expensive thing. You're not going to get the happiness if that expensive thing, if yourself, you're not happy with yourself, yeah? Once, I really need to say this, people need to understand who they are. You need to learn yourself. Once you learn yourself, you're able to do above and beyond for yourself. Most people do not know who they are. Like someone's going to ask you, okay, Daniella, who are you? Then you say, okay, I'm Daniella, I am this and this. But there's things you like, there's things you're very strong at, there's things you're very weak at that you need to improve. Once you learn all these things, that's your first step to actually loving yourself. Yeah. Like I struggled so much with this when I was growing up. Like I would be there and I'm like, no, I needed validation from everyone else. If people didn't tell me I did good, if like I brought my report card home and they did tell me, oh, by the way, you performed well, I'd never tell myself. Yeah. And yet I would put in all the work just because, oh no, I have to reach home. My mom has to say, I did good. Yeah. But now I'm at a point in life where whether someone tells me I did good, whether they did tell me I did good, me as Daniella, I'll tell myself every week.
Yeah, I want to also agree with Lynette on the point you said about forgiving yourself. You see, one thing about self-love is you have to live in the present, You have to acknowledge that, yes, I'm a human being, I probably made mistakes in the past, but then you have to forgive yourself as a person, But it doesn't only entail the past mistakes, it also depends on the future, You're there and you're so worried of the future, you're like, oh my God, next year I'm turning 32 years, what have I don't have children, I am not married. that alone is going to take away your self-love. You get, yeah? So live in the present, forgive yourself of the past things that you probably made, and then also do not worry too much about the future. Live in the present, love yourself, and everything will fall into place.
You know how everyone keeps saying, I'm looking for the love of my life.
Yeah.
Now, instead of looking for the love of your life, look for self-love. So that in case someone comes along and you know your worth, you know your value,
Yeah.
either they're going to run away as fast as possible, probably, because your values, or they're going to stand to that challenge and be there.
Yeah.
Say a person that built themselves, like not building yourself financially as most people would take it, but you're emotionally okay. Every other thing of yours is put together. You know yourself.
Yeah.
So instead of going out looking for the love of your life, girl, you are the love of your life.
I don't understand you.
And I'm looking for the love of my life. Yeah, you should. But like some people, and I don't actually blame them, it gets to a certain time in your life when you actually realize it's not something that just hits you.
Yeah.
Like at some point, you just come to to the realization that I am the love of my life. Thank you. That's why I'm always listening to that J-Lo song.
Because you'd agree with me that sometimes it's inevitable. You have to find love out there.
Yes.
You have to find love, yeah? But first love yourself.
First love yourself. Because,
Yes.
or if you look in the past breakups or in the past relationships, if you have ever been in one, you will notice things break. Anyway, the point is, you'll find you're breaking up, not because maybe you're looking for someone to fill in a gap that you have in you.
Yeah.
And all this is because of lack of self-love. So it's going to affect, still, as we say, it's going to affect every other thing outside you.
Yeah. I will agree, by the way, because, man, I have struggled, by the way. Loving myself? Guys, I have struggled. I've been in relationships where if they don't talk to me, I'm going to think I did something wrong. Because why is he not talking to me? Why is he what? Then I'll cry. Then I will if actually I understood that, things happen, people go through things as well. Yeah, I don't need validation from him to feel like I am loved or to feel like I am worth something.
Yeah.
I don't need him to talk to me every day for me to feel beautiful or things like that. Then I'll be okay.
I feel like sometimes I'm just learning this now. When I was back then when I was still in school, it's right now I know it's better. I have to have time to myself, to learn myself, to know the things that now I have my negotiables and my non-negotiables. So right now, let's say in things to do with relationships, right now the way I'm going to date or the way I was probably what I was looking for back then is not what I'm looking for now. It's now I know myself, I know my worth, I know the things I want, I know how I'm supposed to be treated. So if you come and you're not giving me that, chances I'm not going to cut you off, but we're going to just set that boundary, which I lacked back then.
Yeah. Some advice to me. There's one thing I think we need to discuss. Yeah, you see, oftentimes we say we need to love ourselves, but people take it overboard. Yeah, they do more than just loving themselves. That's why you see narcissist people, you see selfish people. So there's so many misconceptions around loving yourself and self-love. Yeah? I think one thing we need to understand, everyone out there, is self-love is not narcissism. Yeah,
it's
self-love. When someone loves themselves, they are very empathetic. So I love myself, but that same love I have for myself, I spread it out to other people. Guys, narcissist people, they're not they love themselves, they are self-centered, they want everything to revolve around them, and they're not empathetic people. Me, that's my very big difference between loving yourself and being a narcissist. You may say, I am practicing self-love, but you're actually being a narcissist.
Yeah, some people may confuse you.
Exactly, they confuse
if whatever you're doing, it should be benefiting you, yes, and sometimes it could be, but don't in that process, do not disregard other people's feelings. Yes, you're trying. We're not saying you're going to, because I don't want to hurt someone's. It depends. But if every other thing rotates around you, I don't know. people may misunderstand us. It's not about don't be self-centered, don't be a self-centered person. Sometimes there is need to be self-centered. Very good. Depends on the situation. But if this is going to hurt someone negatively, the community in negatively, I mean, I don't know how to put it. I failed to get the words.
Oftentimes I hear people say that they mistake self-love for being selfish.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I think we're talking about it even in the last episode.
Yeah.
Like self-esteem and being selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say most times we've actually tackled both of them together because people tend to want everything for themselves, yeah? All the admiration. If you don't tell them this, if you don't, then you're not a good person. They're not thinking about others. Everything is just rotating around themselves. But what we need to understand, even the Bible says it, one of God's greatest commandments is we need to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Yeah? He tells us to love ourselves, but spread that love to even your neighbors in the community. Yeah? When you're there and everything rotates around you for you, you don't want this, I don't want to probably share with. That's why these people who apparently you say, hey, you have a nice shirt. Eh? Because, no, she told me I have a nice shirt. I like that she told me I have a nice shirt. She's admiring my things. I can't tell her when she asks me where I go to shop. Nah, I can't tell her. Gatekeepers, those are people who practice love for themselves, but at the expense of actually loving other
people.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, we're talking about all this. Some people may actually like misunderstand what we are saying.
Yeah.
But just do you see? If it makes you happy.
And also, there's another thing I want to say that people actually misconceive self-love for, that it is hard to do it.
Yeah.
It's not hard to love on yourself.
At some point, it's actually not so easy. Like, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But, like, outside opinion could... You have to fight, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
you
you
have
see
to
the problem
fight.
that we face nowadays in the current day and age, yeah? Social media has shown us, and okay, the current cultural perspective has shown us that if you don't have money, you can't love on yourself. Yeah?
Yes.
Because people say, I'm doing the solo date, I went to the Maldives alone, I bought myself this car or this phone because I was loving on myself. But that is why I'm saying it's a very misconception. It is not hard for you to love on yourself.
No, it depends. Of course, if you are financially stable and you can afford those and that's what you want, well and good. Now, you have to be realistic. Like, obviously, I'm not going to be depressed right now where I am because I can't go to the Maldives.
Yeah,
And there's people out there who are actually disagree with
No,
that.
that's not self-love. Like, you're not, first of all, you've not studied yourself. Me, I've studied myself. I know where I stand financially.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I'm not going to go for the expensive skin products, okay?
Yeah.
But then I know I'm going to hydrate.
Yeah.
And I'm going to eat healthy.
You're going to
hit
exercise.
the gym.
You're going to do the things
I'm
that
going
bring
to-
you happiness.
If I can't afford the gym, I'm going to take walks. I'm going to jog around my community.
Yeah.
That's exactly that.
So I want to disagree with you.
It is not hard to love.
It's really not
yourself.
hard.
When
Yeah.
you learn who you are, you know the basic things that you can and cannot do. I can probably take myself on a date, yeah? But I cannot take myself to the UK. I can't wake up and
No,
take
but
myself.
guys, I want you to agree with me. Self-love is not about money.
It's not about it.
It's about understanding who you are.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
yeah.
People need to understand.
Accepting yourself for who you
you
are,
are.
appreciating yourself for who you are, and everything will fall into place. Because if I don't have the money to go to the Maldives, yes, I have money to take myself to KFC. That's what I can afford. You get, yeah? If I can't afford a gym membership of 900,000 a month, I can do workouts for my home.
Exactly.
So it's not about money. Don't think self-love is about money. You love yourself, but first understand who you are, and then everything will fall
No,
into place.
this money thing, people, I feel like usually we are addicted to being chosen. Now, in this addiction of wanting to be chosen, of wanting to be noticed, that is when we're going to forget about our self-love and want to strain ourselves.
Yeah.
And want to be like, I just want to go to the Maldives because praise, that must be self-love to me. But you're not loving yourself. You're pretending. You're putting yourself under pressure. Your mental health is deranged. Like, just do you. Know where you are in life. Understand yourself.
Know your self-worth.
Know your self-worth.
Yeah.
Now, knowing your self-worth doesn't mean because you're not having a lot of money, doesn't mean that you're going to accept someone with a lot of money. Now, in fact, this is self-love. Someone with money coming, let's say in this point in life, we are maybe dating, and then not dating. Someone comes, I am not financially there, but they are better than me. Yeah. But they're treating me in a shitty way, like, and then you choose to stay. Now that's not self-love.
Yeah.
It's something that even has nothing to do with boundaries. That is just like your value is like, oh my god, it's like even if I get treated like this, Casta he buys me.
Exactly. That is why I tell you guys, self-care and self-esteem.
Yeah. No, that is, in fact, that is the whole point. That is what we're talking about.
Yeah. So I don't know if, okay, we've like tackled on them slowly by slowly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want us to talk about how do we practice self-love. Now that we've understood what self-love is, we've talked about the misconceptions, the importance of self-love.
Yeah.
Can we tell all our listeners out there, how do we practice self-love? And on top of that, what is the impact of not having self? Yeah.
No, I'll go first. How do you practice self-love? I said it in the past. Live in the present. Forgive yourself for what happened in the past.
Yeah.
Do not worry so much about what is in the future. Live in the present. Love on yourself now. Not in the future, not in the past.
Because, honey, you could die in the next minute. Yeah. You could. You know, one thing, I was thinking about something, and I was like, thinking, if I died, like, I don't want people, you know how you go to a burial and then someone is instead of talking about you, there was nothing that you did about you, nothing they knew anything about you, so everyone just keeps saying, now I helped, like everything is about them, instead of saying, oh, Lynette was this, she did this, she loved her, so everyone knew her. Now, I was thinking, but it was something that I was thinking upon, and I was like, oh my God, like, I don't want to, like, one day die, and then people have nothing to say about me, other than talk about themselves, because I never tried to make an impact. People didn't know me. Like, I wasn't that person, like, with principles. Like, nobody knew anything about me.
Yeah. So, actually, if you ask everyone around me, there's a statement I say, I think almost every day. What if I die tomorrow?
Exactly.
If I want to do something today, I will do it, because I'm not certain of tomorrow.
Exactly. So even me, sometimes it's a good thing to say this, but sometimes it's a bad thing. I always tell myself, guys, I want to be buried with that money. Yeah. They will use the money to bury me. Yeah. But the remaining money, what happens to it?
Exactly.
So why am I not eating my money?
Exactly. Why am I not eating?
And then someone watching is going to be like, so I should just drain my bank account. No, that's what we're saying.
Live in the moment.
Live in the moment, but also being, like, don't drain your bank account. Also, just just be. People don't have to love you.
Yeah.
So long as you love yourself. In fact, I've noticed when someone loves themselves, when they are confident, when they're in their space, when they know they are the it girl or guy, people around them, for some reason, it's like a magnetic thing. They will just lean towards you.
Energy you attract.
Energy. It is that energy. That's the energy.
Yeah. Another thing I would say helps us practice self-love is positive affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay. Wake up in the morning. I was listening to a video on TikTok, and the lady that was speaking literally said, wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror. Whether it is your worst day, you don't have to be wearing all that makeup to tell yourself you're beautiful. That's one thing people need to understand. When you love yourself regardless of all the situations that are happening around you.
Yeah.
At your worst, when you've just woken up, you know how you might not look your best. Wake up and tell yourself, Daniella, I love you.
Yeah.
You are going to do great today. Yeah. Every time when I come, when I'm writing my tasks for the day, the first thing I write is, dear me, you're going to succeed at the day today. Love me. At the end of the day, after I've completed my tasks, I write, dear me, we made it through the end of the day.
Exactly. It doesn't hurt for you to stand in that mirror and be like, I am that.
Exactly.
I am that. Now we keep talking, but this is not for that guy or girls only. And also, if a guy can just look in the mirror and be like, I am that. It's guy. Like, I am that guy.
Yeah.
So like, change. Now that we're talking about that, change the language into to which you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Some people's language to themselves is so negative that it's just like,
I can't do it. I will never be there.
So change, because if your language is negative to yourself, it's going to take you to a bad place in every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another thing is, people need to also do, like, those practices, mindful practices that people do,
Yeah.
So some people meditate, some people go for yoga, some people journal. I know people that always, it has become part and parcel of them, that when they are going through something, or when they want to feel like they are in love with themselves, at the time when the love is above here, people are right.
Yeah.
I can't write. I have tried it before. It's a very nice feeling. It's very soothing, but it's just not me.
Yeah, everyone has their own different
I think
ways.
meditation is mine.
Yeah.
Wake up early in the morning. Before you do anything, okay, after praying, of course, sit, take like 15 minutes on your bed and meditate. Yeah. Think about what you want to be in the future. Yeah. Think about what you are right now, because I know what you are now is not what you were probably like a year ago. So be thankful of where you are while you're thinking of the future, but please don't overstress. Just sit, meditate, and
Now that you've said that, I remembered I watched something sometime online, and it was saying, but it has helped me a lot because it has been ringing in my head. Yeah. This person was saying like, oh my God, I don't care how this day was today, but like I know 13-year-old me is proud of me right now. Yeah. And I was like looking back and I'm like, oh my God, sure, like 13-year-old me is looking at me like, if like I can flash, like if back then they gave me a flash of like any moment in my life now, I'd be like, oh my God, like after all things are not so bad.
I know.
Like, yeah.
You've tried.
So I've tried. Also, like I've just noticed like life is just too short to like do things that don't make you happy, for you to suffer for things that don't make you happy. Like, by the way, one sign that you don't have the self-love is, I know the economy is hard. I know like different aspects of life can force you to do things that you don't like, meaning like jobs, meaning like what. But like as you grow, as you like pushing with your life, try to find things that you love. Like try to do things that you love. Maybe you hate your job, but like get something on the side that you will do that will give you a fulfillment, because you can't just keep your life, especially let's say you're doing a 9 to 5. Yeah. Like you really hate your job, you hate your bosses, you hate your manager, you hate every other person, but like you don't have anything that you love on the side. There could be journaling. Now for us, maybe it's like the podcast, maybe talking to people, maybe anything that makes you like, don't live your life suffering, because within no time, this will just be chopped and then you will die and there'll be nothing. Or like you look back when you're so old, maybe you didn't die, but you're so old. And then you're looking like, oh my God, now it was all useless because you're not where you want to be in life.
Yeah. My last part on practicing self-love, you mentioned it, there is set boundaries. Yeah. Set boundaries for your relationships, for yourself, for your workplace. Sometimes our workplace are the reasons why we don't have ourselves. Set boundaries, friendships, all of it. Just set boundaries, because you know I can't cross this line. Yeah. Regardless of who it is, whether it's my boss, whether it's my friend, it's my lover, it's my family, I can't cross this line.
Yeah, going back to self-love.
Yeah.
I feel what is set boundaries.
Yeah.
And also for every season in life that things are bad, there is always something to learn. If in this moment, back then, if I was in a bad toxic relationship, I learned something. I do not hate myself for that. If I was in a bad job, if I was in whatever it is, do not curse yourself and like don't forgive yourself. Learn. Is that something that you learned? Well then, let's just move on. I learned that lesson. Not going to make that mistake again. That is self-love.
Yeah. So I think before we close, because we're coming to the close of this episode today, all we want to say, guys, is love yourself. You can't love another person. This is one thing I tell myself. People who have asked me, hey, by the way, are you dating? How come you're not dating? I usually tell them, guys, before I get that man, I have to love me. Yeah. If I don't love myself, there's no way I'm going to give that man this love. Yeah. Even my friends, I will not give my friends that love that they need if I don't love myself. So understand yourself. Dig deep, dive deep into your life. Understand, appreciate yourself. It's that the little steps we take. Telling yourself, it won't cost you money to wake up in the morning and tell yourself, Daniella, I love you. No, it can't. Yeah, it won't cost you so much for you to get, you like this, yeah, or you like even just a rose flower. If you have them in your compound, you are a lover of flowers. Pick them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put them there. Look at how beautiful it is. Tell yourself, I am as beautiful as this sprouting flower.
You've talked about flowers, and I've remembered
Those kinds of
it
things.
starts within you. If you wake up in the morning, your room is disorganized, your clothes are unironed. Like for some reason, it just gives you that weird, So your surrounding space, like if you want to feel good, organize it. Let it, let it be something that you would want. Also, Anyway, my last statement would be: Your life is a movie, and honey, you are the star. Better make sure you feel like you are the star.
Yeah. My last words would be practice self-care for you to have self-love for yourself.
Yeah.
Do things that bring you happiness. Do things that bring you inner peace. Do things that bring you joy in your heart, yeah? If it's going to the gym, hit the gym. If it's eating healthy, eat healthy. If it's moving out with friends, going to the bar, doing everything you want, do it, because that will give you the self-love that you need.
Yeah.
Okay? And we remain your amazing hosts, Daniella, Kanye,
And Lynette, guys, once again, some of you are watching this episode and you are not clicking the subscribe button or the like. You're not even leaving a comment, guys. Let's share. Let's learn. We want to learn from you. We also want you to learn from us. So So follow us on our socials: Bold and Bubbly, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok,
Twitter.
Yeah.
till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember to pray to God.
Yeah. Don't forget. By the
forget to
way,
pray.
God above all. Yeah. God above all.
Peace.
Oh. So on
There in the beginning when Daniella asked, and then we looked at each other.